Welcome back to Overtime Heroics. I'm Mason Shatwell, and today joining me is Mr. Dominique Wooding, who recently got a victory on the Cage Warriors trilogy. Dom, how are you doing?
Yes, I'm all good. All good down here.
Great to hear. How was your time on Cage Warriors? Because I know it was your debut on the promotion.
Yeah, obviously, as everyone saw, successful promotional debut, and it's exactly as how I envisaged it.
How did Cage Warriors come about?
It was right after Bellator, so Bellator released me, and Cage Warriors jumped straight onto me. Do you know what I mean? So it was only right to sign with them because obviously they're connected with the UFC, and obviously that's where I want to be. So obviously I've been with Bellator, been with some other big shows. So then it was only right for me to sign with Cage Warriors to let me elevate up into getting into the UFC. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I know on your Cage Warriors debut, obviously it was against Cameron Hardy. What did you know about Hardy before stepping in the cage?
Yeah, his name's popped up about a couple times a few years prior. I think there was one time when I fought for Bama, his name popped up, and I think he was meant to step in for a late replacement, short notice, and I think he was meant to step in against me, but that kind of fell through. That fell through. So I'm not too sure if that fight was like fully confirmed or not. But yeah, I've known of Cameron for quite a while, and obviously seeing what he's been doing, obviously prior to our fight. So yeah, I've known of him for quite a while. Do you know what I mean? So it was a good promotional debut for me. Good fight for me to make my debut on him. Plus he had a good record, so good scout for me to demolish. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, the fights, it seemed like you got the job done with relative ease. Did you expect it to be that straightforward in the fight? Did you expect to be able to dominate like you did?
To be honest, you know what? Obviously I expected to dominate him throughout the whole fight, but I didn't expect to finish him so quick like that. What was it? I think it was like 1 minute and 9 seconds. Literally in there, it felt like 30 seconds. Do you know what I mean? Just everything went according to plan. Just everything according to the game plan. Just went according to plan. Just did everything to a T. Do you know what I mean? He didn't have an answer. He didn't have an answer for none of my stuff, to be honest. Do you know what I mean? Like if you watch the fight back, the first solid combination I landed was the jab cross. Once I landed that was the start of his ending. Do you know what I mean? Even after the fight, he told me after I threw that jab, because I caught him flush in his eye, he told me after the fight, couldn't see me too well. Do you know what I mean? So obviously I already knew, and he already knew it was the start of his ending. Do you know what I mean? So obviously you saw what happened after that. Do you know what I mean? So but yeah, in terms of finishing him that quick, I didn't expect to finish him that quick. I expected to finish him maybe towards the end of the first round, beginning of the second round. Do you know what I mean? But when my shots land, it's different. Seriously.
100%. I remember I recognised your name because I'm not sure if you was aware. I almost had the chance to speak with you before your last Bellator fight, but that ended up falling through due to different reasons and contact with the management as well. Some of the emails didn't end up going through from my half, but I'm glad to be able to speak to you today. But with Cage Warriors, as you said, being one of the leading promotions for the UFC, do you expect to be on the next trilogy?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, there's no doubt. There's no doubt I'll be on the next trilogy. If I'm on the next trilogy, then that's gonna be crazy. But yeah, definitely, I see myself on the next trilogy. Preferably, I'd like to get on October 1st, October 2nd, Friday or Saturday. It's better because obviously now the fans will be back, and obviously September 30th is on a Thursday, so obviously like people working and stuff, so obviously it'd be a bit harder to sell tickets and stuff. Do you know what I mean? But
yeah,
for me, preferably, I like October 1st, October 2nd, Friday or Saturday.
100%. there's been a name that you've been mentioning a couple of times, Liam Gittins. Is that who you want on either card?
It can be Liam Gittins, Nathan Fletcher, any of them. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm coming in here in the bantamweight division. I'm like one of the most experienced guys in the division. And no one can deny that. Do you know what I mean? So I came in, I brought the ruckus on my debut, and after that, a lot of the bantamweights, they're trembling. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've called like Nathan Fletcher, Liam Gittins out numerous times. I've not heard nothing. They've been quiet like mice. Do you know what I mean? And the fight that makes sense to me is obviously Liam Gittins. Like, obviously Nathan Fletcher, they've been building him up. I'm expecting him to get a title shot next. And the thing is, like, they want him to win the title, so they're probably going to get some Italian. They're going to probably get some Italian easy win for him to get the belt. Do you know what I mean? So as for Liam Gittins, it makes sense to me to fight because he fought my teammate on the last trilogy on the Thursday, the day before my fight. And he beat my teammate Emre Somnes. And so it's only right I avenge that loss for him. And obviously, he's one of the top contenders within the bantamweight division. And I came in smoothly, so it only makes sense for me to fight him next. Do you know what I mean? Because obviously I know they ain't gonna give me Nathan Fletcher next. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. The fight with Liam's very appealing. It could be a great fight because obviously, as we've seen from yourself, great stand up, and we as next gen, Liam and Nathan's gym's mainly known for. They've got a very high grappling pedigree. How would you see a fight between Liam and yourself ended?
Honestly, listen, I'll be real with you. Liam's game, he's very game. He's a very tough, durable opponent. But if you put him against someone like with my style, he'll look like a punch. He'll look like a walking punch bag. Do you know what I mean? And that's just real talk. I'm too precise, too sharp, too digital for guys like him. Do you know what I mean? He's very game. He's very durable. He's tough. Do you know what I mean? But being tough and durable can only get you so far. Do you know what I mean? And like the way he fights, there's so many shots I can hurt him with. Do you know what I mean? There's so many shots I can hurt him with, like with knees, elbows, hands, kicks, everything. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, like he's an overblown flyweight. Do you know what I mean? He's an overblown flyweight. Same thing as like Nathan Fletcher as well. Do you know what I mean? Them two, they used to fight at flyweight, and I'm bigger than them. Do you know what I mean? So guys like Liam Fletcher, guys like Liam Gittins, I'll play with him. I'll play with him. I'll give him that he's tough and he's durable and that, but it just won't be enough for me. It won't be enough for them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's been some strange things happened in the sport over the years, and as you mentioned, Nathan Fletcher's probably going to get the title shot next. And to be fair, he does deserve it. He's beat everyone that they've put in front of him, but we don't know what's happening with the champion Jack Cartwright at the minute. Say some circumstances happen and Cage Warriors offer you a vacant title against Nathan Fletcher. Are you grabbing that with both hands?
100%. 100%. But let's be real here. I don't think that's going to be happening right now. That ain't going to be happening right now. They've been building him up. Do you know what I mean? Like, and obviously, like, to be fair to him, he does deserve the title shot because he has paid his dues to be able to get that title shot next. So that's good on him. But in terms of them putting him against me next, I don't think that will happen, honestly speaking. But that's why I'm calling out Liam Gittins, because that fight, if I'm not going to get a title shot next, and that Liam Gittins fight makes the most sense. It makes the most sense to me. Do you know what I mean? And everyone else as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm saying this in no means bad, but you by no means old. You're 33, but the UFC tend to look at guys that are maybe a little younger. How many more fights do you think it'll have to take for you to get your shot in the UFC?
Me? Oh my days. You know what? I watched the fight back and I saw they put me as 33 years old. I am not 33. I was born in 1996. I'm 24 years old. I'm going to be 25 next month.
That's my bad, bro. That's my bad.
There's no worries. But you know what? Obviously, Brad Wharton was the one that called that out. But obviously, like he knows me throughout the scene since I was a young kid. So obviously, I think he was just reading like throughout his notes and whatnot. And obviously, on K-Draw's behalf, that was their mistake. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not 33. I'm 24. Do you know what I mean? So I've got over a decade left in me. I've got so many miles in the tank left within this game. Do you know what I mean? There's so many things to accomplish. Do you know what I mean? So even if I was 33, moving like the way I'm moving, the sky's the limit for me. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I ain't 33. I'm 24. Do you know what I mean? 25 next month.
Yeah, that's my bad. I should have checked the date because I didn't think you was 33 when I seen it, and I thought, yeah, I didn't think that, but yeah, that's my bad. But I want to go
back to say black don't crack. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? I could be 33 looking like this. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, but yeah, not 33, 24, 25 next month. Yeah.
I'm gonna go back to the start of your career. How did you get involved within the sport of MMA?
A friend of mine, an old friend of mine, that I used to go to school with, he was training jiu-jitsu, but the Japanese version at the time. And at the time I was playing football. And I was playing football at a decent level as well. So it got to with football, it got to a stage where like I was like, if you're not in like the scouting system, or like you're not playing for an academy, or you're not signed at the age of like 14, 15, then it gets a bit harder. Do you know what I mean? So so my friend introduced me to MMA, and funny enough as well, the UFC PlayStation game. Do you know what I mean? UFC PlayStation game. I think it was UFC Undisputed 2009. It was. I think it was on a PlayStation 3. My friend had that game, and I was around his house, and I saw that game, and I was just like, oh, this sport looks good. Like I want to try it. Do you know what I mean? And then after I started seeing my friends started showing me like Anderson Silva highlights and stuff, and I just thought to myself, oh, I can do this. Do you know what I mean? And then after I started training my friend, and it just became addicted to me, and the rest is history from there. So then I quit football and just started doing traditional jiu-jitsu, and then we did a bit of Muay Thai, and we moved over to MMA. So we wanted to get a bit of a base before starting MMA. But,
I know people have their favorite martial art. Do you have a favorite, or do you love it all put together?
I like it all, to be honest. But obviously, like, everyone knows me as a striker, as a devastating striker. I do like striking, but obviously, as MMA fighters, your aim is to be as well rounded as you can as an MMA fighter. Do you know what I mean? As a mixed martial artist. So to be honest, I like it all. I like every art, to be honest. Do you know what I mean? But it's like when it comes to training, to be honest, my favorite session of the week when it comes to training is wrestling. Do you know what I mean? I like the wrestling drills. I like doing live rounds of wrestling. Do you know what I mean? Freestyle wrestling, cage wrestling. Do you know what I mean? That's my favorite. That's my favorite session of the week. Do you know what I mean? And then sparring comes after.
How was your weight cut leading into your last fight?
Honestly speaking, the easiest weight cut of my career. Like literally, I made weight the night before. So we were in a hotel. I did a little workout, little 20-minute workout. Then I did like one round of an Epsom salt bath, and then we went back downstairs to the K-Draw's offices within the hotel where the official scales were. I weighed myself. I was on point with the weight. So I was drinking a bit of Lucozade. Do you know what I mean? I was drinking a bit of Lucozade. I drank like 0. Like half, like 0.5 of a liter, just to have a little sip, and then that I could lose throughout my sleep. For the weighing day. Do you know what I mean? So to be honest, I'd rank that weight cut number one as the most easiest weight cut of my career, to be honest. And I will do my weight cuts like that in the near future, because there was no stress whatsoever. And the rehydration was all on point. I went back into that fight almost 10 kgs over the weight. Do you know what I mean? So solid weight cut it was for me. The last fight.
After the fight was over, what was the first thing that you ate or drank after the fight?
Obviously, after the fight or after the weigh-in, you're saying?
After the fight, after fight night.
Oh, after fight night, what did I eat? I can't remember what I had. I can't remember. I think I had. What did I have? I can't remember, but I do remember having a nice, fresh, cold Coke. You can't. you can't go wrong with a fresh cold Coke. Do you know what I mean? Can of Coke. Do you know what I mean? I can't remember what I ate. To be honest, I really can't remember. But I do remember what I drank though. Fresh cold can of Coke. You can't go wrong with that. Do you know what I mean?
100%. How long do you usually take off from the gym after each fight?
Um, a week, normally. If like I have injuries after the fight, could be 2 weeks or even more. To be honest, like I remember my fight against Dean Garnett. That fight I was using a lot of kicks, elbows, knees, and I had to take like literally a month of training because literally my elbow was bruised, my knees was bruised, my feet was bruised. I couldn't even walk for about a week.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? And obviously, when you're healing when you're healing in places where it's just pure bone, it's a lot harder to recover. Do you know what I mean? Because obviously there's no muscle around the area. Do you know what I mean? So yeah. But normally I take a week off, a week or two if needed. Do you know what I mean? And then straight back to work.
100%. We've spoke about who you'd like to see next and all that stuff. I'm going to ask a question. I'll use myself for example because I'm due to have my first amateur fight in
Right.
7 weeks now. Say if you're speaking to someone like myself or any other amateur, if you could give them one piece of advice, what would it be?
As an amateur, go in there and just embrace the moment. And at the end of the day, if you're looking to turn pro in the near future or whatever, so you got to look at the amateur stage as experience. Whether you lose, whether you win or draw, whatever, that amateur stage is just all experience. Do you know what I mean? So you got to embrace it and just take your time with it. Do you know what I mean? Like I remember when I was an amateur and I was like 5-0, and then I was saying to myself, "Oh, I'm ready to go pro. I'm ready to go pro." But at the time, my manager was saying, "Nah, you're not ready. You're not ready." But I felt I was ready. And the thing is, and then later on down the line, I got my first couple losses within my amateur career. And then after I realized, you know what? Yeah, and I said to myself, "Yeah, he was right. I don't need to rush." Do you know what I mean? Like I'm so young. I don't need to rush to turn pro. Do you know what I mean? Like how old are you, for example?
19.
Exactly. Like you're 19 years old. You got time. Do you know what I mean? You got so much time. Do you know what I mean? As an amateur, get as much experience as you can. Do you know what I mean? Like me, when I was an amateur, I had 11 amateur fights. But as of right now, you're seeing like the amateurs right now. A lot of the amateurs as of right now, having a lot more than 10 fights, 11 fights. Do you know what I mean? Like you're getting some amateurs that are having 20 fights or even more than 20. Do you know what I mean? Like back then when I was an amateur, having 11 fights at the time was a lot of fights for an amateur. But as of right now, the sport's grown, the landscape of the sport is changing. A lot of young kids are coming into sport, boys and girls, and they want to soak up as much experience and knowledge as they can before they turn pro. Do you know what I mean? So with your amateur career, it's all about experience. There's no rush there. Do you know what I mean? Especially as a young athlete, there's no rush, and you just got to embrace every fight and just take each fight as they come. Do you know what I mean?
100%. I've just got a couple more now.
Also on top of that as well, another message to amateurs that I find amateur rules. There's no need to cut so much weight. This is from experience. I remember I was cutting stupid amounts of weight to fight amateur. And the thing is, as an amateur, you're not getting paid. You're probably only getting paid by tickets. Do you know what I mean? Which ain't gonna be that much anyway. Do you know what I mean? So there's no point cutting so much weight. It's best off doing a catch weight or fighting at your natural walking weight. That's close to a weight class near your walking around weight. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that's one advice I'll give to up and coming amateurs. Like no need to cut weight because you ain't getting paid to cut weight. Do you know what I mean? And cutting weight is dangerous. Do you know what I mean? Cutting weight is just so stupid. Stupid for sport. Do you know what I mean?
100%. Like I said, I've just got a couple more now. What does your weekly routine look like when you're out of camp? Like, how many sessions will you do a day when you're not training specifically for a fight?
It varies. Could be twice a day, once a day. Do you know what I mean? Depending what I'm doing. Do you know what I mean? But most of the time when I'm out of camp, I'm learning technique and just going over things before camp starts. Do you know what I mean? Just building my skills and learning technique and just trying to build my skills basically. Do you know what I mean? But obviously with camp, I'm training twice a day. Do you know what I mean? Twice a day. Even like out of camp, twice a day as well.
Yeah.
But like obviously out of camp, I don't need to kill myself. Do you know what I mean? Like after a fight, like right now, as of right now, I'm not sparring right now. Do you know what I mean? So I'm only gonna spar if like certain teammates need my help. Like for example, if a teammate needs a southpaw, if they're fighting a southpaw, because I'm a southpaw, if a teammate needs a southpaw, then I'll be there to do some of their rounds. But I'm not gonna do all the rounds within that sparring session. Do you get what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
as of right now, like I'm what 2 weeks post my last fight. I'm not gonna be sparring. Do you know what I mean? Like even like my last fight, I even got a cut. I'm still recovering from my cut. I just literally took the stitches out last week, ending of last week. Also, I'm still recovering from my foot from the head kick I landed on Cameron. Do you know what I mean? So as of right now, I ain't sparring. I'm just mostly doing technique, like pad work and stuff like just going over, just drilling more than going live. Do you know what I mean?
I know one of your teammates, Nathaniel Wood, has a fight coming up. How do you see his fight playing out?
Yeah, he's got a good fight. He's got a good fight. For UFC London. He's a southpaw as well. So Nathaniel's going to be needing me real soon. But obviously, as of right now, I can't help him out in terms of sparring rounds because obviously I'm still recovering. So later on down the line, so he's got about like 8-9 weeks till the fight. So probably about 5 weeks prior to his fight, and that's when I'll start coming in to helping him out with the southpaw rounds. But yeah, he's got a really good fight, and a really good fight for him to come back and get back on a win column. Do you know what I mean? He's doing really well in training right now. He's looking sharp, and that's a really good fight for him to get back to winning ways, especially as it's in London, our hometown. Do you know what I mean? So yeah.
100%. Do you have any shout outs to sponsors that you want to sign off with?
Nah, I'll just say like shout out to my team, GB Top Team, all the guys that help me day in day out. My coaches, Ashley Grimshaw, Brad Pickett, my management, Paradigm Sports Management, and yeah, that's about it really.
And last but not least, how can people find yourself on social media?
You can find me on Instagram at Real D Wooding, same username on Twitter at Real D Wooding. My Facebook athlete page Dominique Wooding. Also, I've got a YouTube channel. It's called Black Panther Wooding. So you can find me on all those platforms. Yeah.
100%. Well, Dom, it's been a pleasure, and I can't wait to see you fight again. Thanks for your time, mate.
Me too. Thank you very much.